I don't need a man to love me. I don't need love from a man. I don't crave love from a man. Okay. Now, let's get this out the way. I've been saying that I don't think men are capable of love on my channel for the last few years. I'm not the one who coined that term. That comes from Princella, the Queen Maker. I don't know if she coined it. People probably said it before her or after her or whatever. But to me, from my perspective, she's the one who made that phrase very popular on social media, especially these last few years. Okay. But I say it in my content all the time that I don't think most men really love. And so one of the comments that I keep getting in newer videos and older videos that pop up every day is somewhere along the lines of, then that just means that your man doesn't love you. Or you don't think your man loves you then? Oh, well, since no man is capable of love, that means your man don't love you. So why are you in a relationship? Comments like that. So I'm going to address those comments. Okay. I don't care if my man is in love with me or not. I have never cared and I am never going to care. Okay. That might be a little unhinged take for like, what? Why are you in a relationship with somebody if you don't think that they love you or if you don't care that they love you or whatever? And the best way for me to put this is that when you love yourself, you don't need love from outside of you. Outside love is just a bonus. It would be an addition to the love that you already have for yourself. I've said before many times that if you are out here searching for love in a desperate way, like, and I'm sorry to say this, the women on dating apps and women who go in to dating mixers and they're doing all of this and they're changing their lives and doing, changing their religion and, going to the gym and working out for a man, not themselves, for a man. And they're doing all of these things looking for love. The reason why you're doing that is because you don't actually have that much love for yourself. I think it's very simple. I think it's very black and white. No one is ever going to convince me that a person who truly loves and values themselves will not be out here desperately looking for it from someone else. Just my own personal take. You'll never convince me otherwise. Because I understand that when someone truly has something in them, they are not out searching for it. I want you to stop and think about that for a minute. When you truly have it, what are you searching for exactly? Because you got it already. It doesn't make sense that anything else would be the case. I don't need my man to be in love with me. I don't need a man to love me more than I love him. I do believe that if you believe in love and if you want to be married and you want to have babies and all that stuff, I do think it is important that you get a man that loves you more than you love him. Otherwise, it's most likely not going to work. At least not for the long term. I don't think most relationships are going to work anyway, but at least not for the long term, right? I do believe that if that is what you're looking for. But women like me are not looking for that. My criteria is very different. I said before that many women will find my relationship or my man as a red flag because he doesn't have children. He doesn't want children. He's too concerned with his retirement and not being broke and being able to live his life the way he wants. He doesn't want to be on a schedule that doesn't have anything to do with him, which is the top things that attracted me to him in the first place. So to most people, that would be like, what kind of a relationship is that? Yeah. And it's perfect for me and perfect for him. Okay. Do I think it's going to always be as wonderful as it is now? I don't know. I can't sit here and say that. He may wake up tomorrow and change his mind and be like, you know what? I do want to get married. I'm going to take that as he wants to break up with me. I'm being honest. Like, I'm not going to see that as, oh, if now you want to get married. When I am upfront with a man about what I want and what I don't want, and then later on down the road, they flip the switch and they're like, okay, I do want this, even though I know you told me you didn't want it. I'm taking that as you need a way out. That's how I'm going to take it. I'm not going to take it like, oh, I changed him, or I was a great influence on him, and now I need to just give up my thoughts and give everything. I'm not going to initially take it that way, probably at all. In my mind, I'm going to be like, yeah, he wants to break up. Like if he comes and say, I want to have kids all of a sudden, in my mind, I'm going to be like, yeah, he want to break up. And we're just going to break up because you can't compromise on stuff like kids and all that. You can't compromise on those things. And so if you want something and I don't, we got to break up because one of us is going to give in to the other or go without something that they wanted or didn't want or whatever. And then the other person is going to suffer. It's not going to work in the long run. There will be no reason to bring a kid into this world when y'all are not on the same page, right? I'm not going to see that as, oh, the ups and downs of a relationship. Oh, we got to work it out. I'm going to see it as, yep, we've reached our end. The relationship is over. I'm sorry. That's just the way my brain is wired. Like I don't believe in drawing things out if I don't have to. I am a rip the band-aid off type of chick. Been that way for most of my life. Okay. Just tell me. When people ask me, do I want the good news or the bad news? I'm like, give me the bad news first. Okay. Like I just like get it out the way. I've always been that way. And so I'm not trying to prolong anything. If I were to ask him, like, do you really love me? Are you really in love with me? And he told me no, I'd be like, oh, okay. And we'll just go on and continue doing whatever we was doing. I never even asked him that. Playfully, I would say we've asked each other playfully, like, oh, you love me, because he told me what he was getting me for Christmas, for an example. I'm like, oh, you must love me. Oh, playfully. But I've never like asked him, are you really in love with me? Because I don't care. I don't care if he is or not. When you love yourself, any type of love outside of you is not necessarily it's not as important. It's not like this priority thing that you must have. It's just an addition. That's it. And if it's not there, that's fine too. I'm not with him for that reason. I would never want to put him in the role of father to my kid. I don't want to be married. I don't really ever want to live together either because I don't want anybody living in my house. Like I say this all the time. Like I can't close my eyes and picture somebody living in my house again. Right? I just can't do it. I've been there, done that. I've already been down that road. It was okay. It wasn't everything. There was pros to it, I would say, at one point, but then there were more cons than pros. And so I'm like, I just don't want to do this again. I always keep it in the back of my mind though that nothing is set in stone. I do know that he could wake up at any moment and decide he wants kids, wake up at any moment and decide that he want to get married, wake up at any moment and decide he want to break up or he found another woman. I'll never not have that in the back of my mind, right? It's the exact same way where when I get in my car and I put on my seatbelt, I'm not planning on getting into a car accident, but I am going to wear my seatbelt because first, I don't want to get a ticket. And secondly, if somebody do hit me, I don't want to go flying through the windshield, right? But you're not driving to your destination worried the whole time about getting into a car accident unless you have some kind of phobia or something. Nobody's actually doing that. In the same way that I put my seatbelt on without even thinking about it, I know in the back of my mind that men switch up. They change at any moment. You don't know when it's going to happen or if it's going to happen. You don't see it coming a lot of times. You're usually blindsided in many cases. I'll never lose sight of that. Ever. And to do the opposite, because when I tell people that, they're like, oh, well, that just means that you'll never have a true, loving, fulfilling relationship. And you're never going to know what it's like to just lose yourself in somebody and in their embrace and the true love and you guys becoming one and all that. And I'm like, listen, I don't have any desire to be that way. I have no desire to lose myself. I have no desire to stop loving myself. I have no desire to love a man more than I love myself. I don't need a man to love me more than I love me or at all. When you have love for you and enough of it, you are not out here searching for it because you already have it. Now, I understand that this is probably a tier that a lot of people probably won't get to in their lives. And I'm not trying to sound like elitist or anything. I promise I'm not. But sometimes that's just the case. Like some people just won't understand certain things. Like for an example, I tell people all the time, like when we talk about death, I am not afraid to die. Do I want to die? Not now. Not right now, I don't. But I am not afraid of death. That's not something most people understand. Most people are terrified of death and they go to their graves terrified of death, right? It's one of those things. Some people just won't understand because they are not at that place in their lives yet. And I'm okay with that. But when you value your own life, your own time, your own hobbies, you have your own thing going on. Only a fool would give that up, especially for a man. I'm sorry, like you, somebody who's just not smart, somebody who, because I look at it like, if you're giving it up, it wasn't that valuable to you in the first place. If you're just gonna throw your hobbies away or your career away for a man, you didn't value yourself that much to begin with. Women who value themselves a lot of times do end up being alone, but that's not a bad thing to me. The more you know yourself and the more boundaries you have, the less likely you are going to find a person to match that. Because most men don't do inner work. They don't go to therapy. They don't, read self-help books to be better people. They don't do any of that. They don't reflect. They have no introspection. And so it doesn't matter as a woman how many college degrees you get or how much therapy you do. None of that matters. You're doing all of that just to put yourself into a pool of men who are ultimately trash. So, like, what's the point? At some point, you're going to come to that realization. You might get lucky and find somebody who matches you, or you might not. At the end of the day, I don't need a man to love me. I don't care. I don't need one human being on this planet to love me. Not one. Because I love me.
All together, girls. 1, 2, 3. Fuck these men on the internet. They don't know what they want, but they will see what they can get. Oh, go and waste your one and only precious life while pretending not to have a full receding hairline. So keep your eyes on his hairline and your hand on your drink. For all you know, he is a psychopath. He'll leave you on red, and he won't care if you're dead. And the psychics on TikTok are